Hi and welcome to the Forest of Arden. In this video we're answering an Instagram question from Martin Birch all about how he can control his overswing. Just before we get started, in the corner of the screen you should have the details for my social media accounts, so if you don't already then please go ahead and follow me on those. So the other evening I posted across my social media platforms if anyone had any suggestions, questions or topics they would like me to film videos on. Martin Birch on Instagram commented saying that he's struggling with an overswing, and we're going to give him a couple of ideas in this video about what he can do to help fix that. So what do we mean by an overswing? Well, basically in very simple terms, an overswing is when the golf club travels too far in the backswing. Now the reason we'd like to try and work on this is these golfers often tend to struggle with consistency in how they deliver the golf club. We would find when the golf club tends to travel too far, it becomes a lot more difficult to sync up the downswing in terms of what the body's doing, what the clubs and the arms are doing. So for me there isn't an ideal length of swing, it really does depend on the golfer, but generally speaking with an iron we would like to see the club short of a parallel position. Now it's very difficult for me to say exactly why Martin might be overswinging, but in this video we're just going to focus on two areas that I think will help him control the length of his golf swing. The first thing we're going to talk about is the lead knee, and the second thing we're going to talk about is the trail arm. So if I was to take my starting position to this golf ball and I'm going to make an extreme backswing where I try and have zero movement in my knees and in my hips. So I'm not going to move those at all, and what you will notice is that I can't really get the golf club to go much further than this. If we however make the opposite movement and I try and make excessive amounts of movement in my legs, that allows me to make a much longer golf swing. So if we can get Martin to think a little bit about what he's doing with his lead knee and keeping that a little bit more stable in the backswing, that will give him a little bit more of a stable base, and it will potentially mean that he can't swing the golf club as far. Now we would generally see that in every golf swing there is some movement in that front knee. I'm not suggesting there is no movement, but if we can reduce the movement, we're going to probably find we reduce the amount the hips turn, that reduces the amount the shoulders turn, and that reduces how far the golf club goes. The first thing I want Martin to try and do is to make some backswings where he feels as if the left knee is holding its position a little bit more. You can see from the down the line camera there that I have got some movement, but certainly not as much as this move here, and that allows me to make that golf club travel a little bit further. The second thing I want Martin to think about is his trail arm. Now in his backswing, the trail arm will certainly have some bend or some flex. This is correct. What we would like to try and get Martin to do, however, is to try and extend this right arm a little bit more. It will never be extended and straight, but if we can start to extend it, we should get a little bit more width, and we should get that golf club again slightly shorter in length. So if I take my setup, I'm going to make a backswing, I'm going to allow my right arm to flex more than I would like. You can see how that's caused me to swing the golf club much longer. If we can get that right arm and feel we extend it a little bit more, it will generally keep the lead arm a little bit straighter, it will generally keep a little bit more width in that golf swing, and ultimately that's going to control the length of the backswing. So very often when I see a golfer overswing, it is often not just one thing they're doing wrong, it's a culmination of things. Maybe a little bit too much movement in the legs, maybe a little bit too much flex in the arm. So for this exercise, focusing on those two things is hopefully going to get Martin a better length of golf swing and ultimately a little bit more consistency with those irons. Right, let me hit a shot. I've got a mid iron here. I've got a fair distance to that green up there, so I might not quite get there, but I'm going to go more stable in the lead knee, right arm a little bit more extended at the top, and hopefully a nice controlled length of swing. Pretty good. So strike was nice, flight was nice, swing felt under control, and really when we hit an iron, it is more about the control rather than about hitting the ball as far as we can. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully that is helpful to you if you do overswing. Martin, hopefully that gives you some things to work on next time you practice. Hopefully we can get you hitting those iron shots a little bit better. Like button down below, comments box, all the usual stuff. And finally, if you haven't already, please subscribe. There's a link in the description box down below. Loads more videos already on my channel, loads more going up weekly. Click that link, just means you won't miss any of those videos. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully we'll see you again soon.